Hey guys, Crystal Grace here. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. So this one is all about what are people currently realizing about you. So we have three piles to choose from. We have pile number one, this yellow rose with strawberry. Pile number two, I think this is an orange. And pile number three, we have a lollipop. So take a moment to connect with one of these crock plugs and we will jump into it. Quick disclaimer while you are connecting with one of these piles. If a message starts to irritate you or upset you, please trust that message is not for you. Simply click off and carry on with your day. Intentions are never set on this channel to create disturbance in your life, negative disturbance. So with that said, let's jump into it. Pile number one. Pile number one, welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose this rose and strawberry. So the yellow rose, from my understanding or what my mother taught me, was all about friendship. So given the topic being what are people realizing about you, is maybe energetically what's sort of coming through here is some people might be regretting losing your friendship. Maybe what they're realizing about you is that they've lost their friendship with you. And for others of you, I would say it's about what people are realizing about you is that maybe you only want friendship with them. Maybe having a friendship with you would be quite prosperous as well here. I feel with the strawberry though, this would indicate to me what people are realizing about you is you offer a very sweet friendship. Like that, having a friendship with you brings a sense of sweetness into one's life. Strawberries are very delicious as well. So maybe what people are realizing about you is that you do make a very solid friendship or a solid friend per se. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if some people are kind of realizing about you, like maybe they need to establish a friendship in order to have something more sweeter with you. And it's interesting that Luna is taking place here because Luna doesn't normally come on camera. And she's feeling obviously very connected to this energy coming through. What are you smelling? So yeah, that's sort of what I'm picking up with the crock plug. So let's jump into what are people currently realizing about pile number one. And we're not doing reversals because we're going to draw upon the imagery of these cards. So there's the friendship card in this deck. I really feel drawn to this Four of Wands. On the basis of the imagery, right? So Four of Wands can obviously talk about marriage and celebrations, but we do have two friends here engaging in selfies. So I feel like that's just reiterating. I feel like what a lot of people may be realizing about you is maybe you've got some really good friends. Maybe you've had like friends of the duration of a marriage, give or take. A marriage can last anywhere between 5 to 10 years. No, I'm kidding. But I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you is maybe you guys are people who are quite selective with your friendship circle. Maybe you are what people are realizing about you is you have very long withstanding friendships. So that says a lot about you, right? The longer you've been friends with people, the more that gives people confirmation of the kind of person you are, what kind of friend you are. Obviously, people with long-term friends can be deemed as people who have I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that people who don't have long-term friends, because I've definitely had clients come up in my throughout my journey of providing guidance, seeking why they can't establish friends. So it's not to say that those of you who affiliate with that aren't loyal or anything, but the main message here is that what people are realizing about you is you have a profound level of loyalty with your friends. You must have friends from very, like, decades of time, and I feel like maybe new people, what they're realizing about you is you've got some old school friends. Maybe your friends are a lot older than you as well, so again, that says a lot about you as a person. That was Shay making sounds as well. I don't know. I just kind of feel like for a lot of you, people could be realizing what they can be realizing about you is that you are somewhat very selective with your friends. I'm also getting with this phone and them taking a selfie. Maybe what some people are realizing about you is like, maybe you're not taking photos of everything. Like people could be aware that you are socializing with friends, but there's no social media acknowledgement of that. So for some of you, what people could be realizing in regards to that is you could be quite secretive when it comes to your friends. You could be quite secretive or selective as to when you post when you're with your friends and when you're not. So I don't know if people are then questioning their friendship with you, because some of those people could be wondering why you only post certain images with some friends and not them. So that's just a side note. So the cards that we've been drawn for you is the Tower, the Fool, the Nine of Wands, the Judgment, and the Eight of Swords. So the Tower card, in regards to what people are realizing about you, I feel for a lot of you, you may have just endured some kind of, traumatic experience, and what people are realizing about you is that maybe with the Fool here, even the Nine of Wands, maybe all of these cards combine in the sense of the sequence, but the message coming through here is I feel like what people have just realized about you is you were going through something quite traumatic, yet you presented to the world that there was nothing going on. You seemed very cool, calm and collected, very disinterested, although there was something quite traumatic happening. Now, this could have been happening with friends, it could have been a lover, but I feel like what people have just realized about you is that maybe you're no longer posting traumatic situations or being vocal about, situations that aren't that great on social media. So people, what they're realizing about you is you're probably pretending to be happy when you're not, for some of you. That you've definitely got, unwanted situations more under control nowadays. Maybe you were people that used to reach out to your friends a lot when things weren't going out, where now you are just sort of focusing on self and pretending like Tower moments aren't happening when they are. So maybe your long-term friends here, pile one, could be, questioning why you're not reaching out, why you're pretending everything is okay when in fact it is not. But yeah, the Tower card on another element here, or the message that's coming through, is what people are realizing about you is that you have endured a lot of trials and tribulations, very toxic situations, and maybe that is why you're very self-focused at this time. I definitely feel like with the Fool card here, people, what they're realizing about you is you may be saying yes more to yourself now than to anyone else around you. You're being very self-absorbed, self-focused, and there's nothing wrong with being self-absorbed, especially if you've always been selfless for a very long time. Being selfless does create a lot of Tower moments in one's life when people realize that they use and abuse. So some people could be realizing that within itself, pile one, they can't use you and abuse you anymore. You are very fixated on yourself, maybe a pet here with the dog. But I look at this dog and it's sort of trying to, part of me, although I'm aware it's getting into the selfie, but is the dog also, we can also view this dog as trying to get the attention of the person in the card holding up the phone. So maybe there are certain people, what they're realizing about you is they're no longer in your life as much as they thought they were, or maybe you don't really have a strong fixation or focus on certain people in your life. So with the Nine of Wands, obviously this is a card that talks about resilience, very similar energy I've always found to the Seven of Wands, but I feel with the imagery on this card, this person is very not impressed. So I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you is you're not seeking validation or approval anymore. Like, you are just you doing you things. You are just taking yourself out on your own adventures. You sort of like not, I don't know why I'm going to use this word, but scurrying to meet everyone else's needs, doing what everyone else wants to do. I feel like what people are realizing about you now, you're just doing what you want to do. So maybe before you used to like ask people what they wanted of you, where now you just do what you want to do. There's no more seeking like confirmation or being courteous, so to speak, is what I feel with this Nine of Wands. Like, you're just like, meh, if I want to go, I'll go. And if I go, I'll go for an hour. If I want to go there for 10 hours, I'll do that. And I kind of feel like this is quite shocking for a lot of people. For the Tower card to come out and what people are realizing about you, it's quite shocking for them. So there's obviously been a massive change, a massive transformation. And yeah, I would have to say this is very much focused on your friendship circle. Yeah, just based off that initial energy coming out through the rose. And then the Four of Wands. So the Judgment card here is one all about, you know, not being afraid to maybe stand up for yourself now. What people could be realizing about you is you're not afraid to shy. You're not maybe before you used to shy away from petty arguments, things that didn't serve you. Maybe you were always okay with people, you know, criticizing your life, criticizing the decisions or the choices you make, where now you're not afraid to get into arguments to support yourself, to, I guess, defend your actions and choices. And although I don't really feel like you defend them, but if somebody sort of pokes you the wrong way, I feel like you will sort of come at them in a way that would probably make them feel quite insecure and naked here with these people in the boat. I definitely feel like what people are realizing about you is something to do with your body. So I would say with this Judgment energy here, there's definitely been a change in your appearance. People are definitely realized that about you. You could be somebody who's being far more confident in your own skin. You're definitely somebody who's been taking care of the body. However that may be, it may be just drinking more water, like, you know, going for a walk, whatever. And then we have the Eight of Swords in regards to what people are realizing about you. I don't know. I just kind of feel like there is no more mental entrapment here. I feel like what people are realizing about you is they don't have any kind of control over you. You figured it some way out that, I don't want to say you figured some way out to get away from, I'd say it's like you've learned what, maybe you've spent a bit of time on working on yourself to allow people to maybe state their opinion or say whatever to you, but it doesn't control you anymore. You allow people to speak freely in a way it does not affect you anymore. It doesn't impact you anymore, is what I feel like with the Eight of Swords. People, I feel like what they're realizing about you with the Tower and the Eight of Swords is that like things aren't a catastrophe anymore. Like, you know, maybe you were holding on to every word a lover would say, but you don't do that anymore. Maybe you guys, there's this more free flow ebb sort of energy happening between you and maybe new adventures you are going on. I feel like with the Eight of Swords, maybe you guys used to have a tendency to get fixated on one thing or one person, and what your friends maybe here are focusing on, or what people are realizing, is that you no longer get fixated on anyone anymore. You're just very fixated and focused on self. So yeah, that is what I have for this pile. Let me know down in the comments if that resonated, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So we have this orange. I'm not sure if it's an orange, but it could be an orange, or I'm going to go with orange. I don't know. Some of you may have seen the movie Empire Records, and I just felt called to say that because there's a way somebody says orange on that. So maybe you guys are really quirky in the way you talk. Maybe you're not monotone. You may like put an emphasis on certain keywords when you're talking. I feel like you're very captivating in the way you talk, the style of that you talk. So maybe that's what people are sort of realizing at the moment. I feel like you can be very profound at times. Might be quite a bit of a shock factor for a lot of people as well. Maybe what they're realizing is that you are very much stepping into your power, your self-worth. Maybe your self-love has recently had a big 180 is what I'm picking up. But the orange is round, and round for me is, strongly affiliated with cycles as well here. So what maybe people could be realizing about your pile 2 is that they're no longer on a cycle with you anymore. Maybe you have learned to sort of pull your energy back when people aren't pursuing you or putting in the same amount of action. So what these people could have recently realized is like, if they want you to stay in their life or continue pursuing romantic experiences with you or friendships with you, or whether it's family related, like they need to step up and start initiating some more action and taking a more proactive approach in your life, and maybe making plans to be a part of your life as well here. There are symbols on this orange. So maybe what people are realizing about you is like, I don't know if you have some kind of symbolic sort of meaning towards them, or maybe there is something very symbolic about you and the way you live your life. I feel like a lot of eyes are on you at this time. I feel like a lot of people, what they're realizing about you is that maybe there is I am seeing the World card in my third eye, so that's all about success and some form of achievement, something coming to an end, a cycle closing out because something has been achieved, success has been reached. So I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you is whatever you've been recently working on, there has been a great deal of success. And although they don't want to give you a lot of recognition here or gratitude, I would say that's because you may have a lot of jealousy around you. Like, although these people could be happy for you, there is this sense of jealousy. So what have people currently realized about pile 2? What are they realizing? So we have the 6 of Cups as the overall energy. I was seeing the Queen of Cups standing out. So I definitely feel like people from your past, obviously with the 6 of Cups as your overall energy, I would have to say what are people currently realizing about you are affiliated with your past, your childhood here. Doesn't necessarily have to be. But the 6 of Cups is obviously childhood memories, nostalgia, people from your past. So these could be lovers. They could be people from your school, like just maybe people from an old workplace. But maybe recently, like you have stepped into some form of fame here or some kind of like high achievement. So that's why I feel like for this pile, this is very affiliated with people from your past coming through with this energy. But yeah, the 6 of Cups definitely tells me like, she's offering a trophy to this small child as well. So I know, I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you is that you've accomplished a lot more than what they ever thought you would, I would say. Like you've achieved a lot for the age that you are, is what I'm kind of picking up with this 6 of Cups. So what these people are realizing about you is that maybe everything they thought you were going to like achieve or do, you've actually achieved a whole lot more in this lifetime. I definitely feel like what they're realizing about you is that you don't really think of these people a lot. Like I feel like what they've realized about you is you've maybe taken something that's happened to you from the past and really leveled up in the future. So maybe that is what they've realized, is like you haven't allowed things to experiences to define you. The Two of Pentacles, I would say people, what they're sort of realizing about you is that you are quite busy and you're a person who has a lot of balance. You're very adaptable. You're very flexible in this life. Maybe you are also very forgiving, but I feel like with the Two of Pentacles, a lot of these people from your past, what they're realizing about you is that they're not even an afterthought for you because you are so busy in your present days. I feel like you guys are mastering some kind of business here, maybe some kind of career, but then you've also got this very vibrant, high vibrational social life, social like scene going on as well. You could be really focused on some form of fitness here or just being out and about in the outdoors. I feel like with the Four of Swords, what people are realizing about you is that your level of self-care and self-love is for yourself is quite high. You do take maybe caring for your skin, your hair, your nails, whatever, very serious as well here. You're probably a big advocate for self-care days. For some of you, what people could realize about you is that you actually have a lot more knowledge when it comes to beauty than what people may present you to be. You could be a person who likes to just be more casual, very chilled, very laid back. So when they learn to hear that you have a very rigid skincare regime or like you participate in skin, like, I don't know, anti-aging sort of stuff, I feel is wouldn't say it's quite shocking for these people, but yeah, they've just realized that you may look the way you look because you take great care of yourself. I feel also with the Queen of Cups here, this is a very intuitive individual, somebody who has psychic abilities as well. So what people could be realizing about you is that you are quite psychic and you're very good at it. Maybe there's been some conversations with these people in your past where you presented this knowing that you had a spiritual gift. Maybe these people, didn't receive this information very positively. So I kind of feel like now they're sort of maybe thinking about the emotional trauma they may have sent your way with the waves crashing at her feet, and yet you're still very kind and loving. So I'm looking at the Two Cups here. So I definitely feel like what these people are realizing is that you are very caring and very loving. And I don't think that was ever, maybe they misconstrued this for fake, being you being fake, but in fact, that's just who you are. So you got to think with people who aren't familiar with being on the receiving end of somebody being nice, you've only got to, I guess, explore the idea of what kind of family did they come from. Was the mother a narcissist? Was the father a narcissist? So naturally, if you're very like empathetic and you're very nurturing and you just ooze that kind of energy, some people may not know how to handle that, so they reject it in a very toxic way. So maybe what these people are realizing is that you are as nice as you say you are. You're still the same person that you were, I don't know, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, etc. I also feel like with the Queen of Cups and the Ocean here, I think what people are realizing about you is that you've had a lot of emotional experiences, yet has not tainted your heart, has not tainted what you're here to offer the world as well here. I feel like what people are realizing about you is you're a very real person. So maybe back with this Four of Swords energy, you may not look real. Maybe for some of you, don't look down to earth either. So just on a side note here, a different message is after people realize, or like once people get to know you, they may have the realization that what you look like isn't exactly how you are. So you may, because you do really like proactive measures with your appearance, so maybe you do wear the full head of makeup and always have your hair on point, etc. Maybe you've got filler to the nines, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So people mistaken you to be like, vain and not intuitively connected, not spiritual. So once they get to meet this Queen of Cups energy, that's when they have this realization that you aren't like this fake person, is sort of the vibe I'm picking up. Now, the Three of Wands talks about patience and somebody waiting for the right time, the right opportunity. So I definitely feel like what people are realizing about you is you are very patient. You're not a fool. You're not about rushing into situations, because you have learned from your past that rushing in and not being patient creates a lot of anxiety in your world, a lot of sleepless nights. So I also feel like for a lot of you, what people are realizing about you is that you're all about future planning now. You're not a person who dwells in the past, because you know if you dwell in the past, it creates maybe this Nine of Swords energy. I also feel like what people are realizing about you is if they don't take action or put some positive planning into how to take action towards you, that can have some kind of negative effect here with the Nine of Swords. I also feel like with the Three of Wands and the Nine of Swords, people, what they're realizing about you is maybe you do suffer anxiety. And if they aren't being genuine towards you, maybe that, yeah, maybe what they're realizing is that you do have mental health issues here because of things from the past, because of things that you were waiting to come into play but never did. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all experience anxiety. But yeah, the Nine of Swords is a very low vibrational energy, well, one of across the 78 cards in the tarot. So I kind of feel like what are people realizing about you is maybe that you're just actually like everyone else here. So, you know, these energies here are rather positive and it seems like you've got your life together. But I think what people realize is like you do go through everyday life situations that do cause you stress. So maybe what's going on here is people from your past, if this is about people from your past, never realized they created a lot of stress and anxiety in your life. Maybe they weren't really aware of the actual trauma that they exposed you to here. And for others of you, it could be just the simple fact that what people are realizing about you after, like, maybe you open up and you express your stories or you share your journey, that you do suffer some form of repercussions of bad treatment that have happened in the past. I also feel with the Six of Cups, what some people could be realizing about you is that you are very forgiving, and maybe that they need to apologize to you, pile two. People could be realizing that they have been the cause of your mental health issues here, and that, this Six of Cups energy is the overall vibe. What are they realizing about you is that maybe an apology needs to come from them to you. So I don't know if they're finding out this information through secondhand information. Maybe you run into people from your past and then they run into those people, and that's how they have this domino effect of, this energy coming through. But yeah, I definitely feel like for a lot of you, I feel like what they're realizing about you is that maybe, although you have worked really hard to wherever you are today, you're still human like everyone else, and you are still dealing with situations that aren't that great, that are still quite low vibrational, is sort of what I've got here for you. So that is all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed that message, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 3, those of you who chose the lollipop. So the Wizard of Oz, I'm the lollipop kid. I'm the lollipop kid, and the little Oompa Loompas kicking their leg. They're not Oompa Loompas. They're like small blonde-headed German-looking boys. That is what's coming through as I connect with your energy. So I don't know if you have an affiliation with the Wizard of Oz. Maybe it's your favorite movie. Maybe you need to watch it. However, some of you could just like lollipops. Maybe your favorite color is pink here. Maybe you like a variety of different pinks. Maybe pink eyeshadow as well. Could be somebody's thing. Pink hair, pink lipstick, pink nail polish. Lollipops are very sweet, but you can also get those unlucky lollipops where they don't taste that great either. So I don't know if some people, what they're realizing about you at the moment is maybe they've put a bad taste in your mouth. Maybe you've put a bad taste in theirs. Maybe you don't care that that's what's going on. But I kind of feel like what people may be realizing about you right now is maybe you like got a hard exterior, but you're quite soft on the inside. You're actually quite sweet. Let's just pull some cards. Maybe a lot of you have picked this pile, and that is why I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed here. But let's go. What have people currently realized about pile number 3? So we do have 7 of Wands. We've got 4 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. We have the 6 of Swords and the Page of Wands. Yeah, look, I would have to say with the 7 of Wands, so 7 of Wands is definitely setting my boundaries card. It's one that talks about somebody who, through going through challenges and situations that aren't that great, have had to learn how to set healthy boundaries and stick to it. So I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you is that you have learned how to master setting healthy boundaries in your romantic life, because we've got the Lovers coming up, in your work life with the 3 of Pentacles. Maybe even in your sports life and your friendship circles as well here, because, you know, these look like friends to me. This looks like somebody active. So I feel like for a lot of you, everyone in your life right now is realizing that you're a person who has learned how to set healthy boundaries, or you have recently set boundaries to protect yourself. So maybe that is why some people might have a bit of an off taste in their mouth at the moment. There is very similar energy here with pile 1. So if you did feel called to go to pile 1, do that. I don't necessarily say that all the time. And I was only thinking the other day, you say that, but like that's happened now the last few reads. So yeah, I definitely don't do that to extend your time here on this channel. But yeah, I feel like people are quite defensive right now, what they're realizing about you. There's a lot of people on the defense because you're not giving easy access to them. 4 of Pentacles tells me what people are realizing about you right now is that you're no longer sharing information that does not serve anyone else or doesn't require anyone else to know. There's things happening on in your life that you are not openly or actively sharing with those around you at work, in your romantic life, in your friendship circles, or even with your own acquaintances. So people are seeing that as a boundary set. You're no longer telling your business to people, is sort of the vibe I'm picking up here. You are being very secretive. I also feel like what people could be realizing about you is you actually are quite wealthy. You have a lot of materialistic items, or maybe what they're realizing about you is that you are very materialistic. You like nice things, you want the finer things in life. So if people can't sort of, maybe if Lovers can't offer you that you don't want any part of that. But this 4 of Pentacles energy definitely gives me very independent person energy. She looks like she's got all her bags ready to leave as well. So I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you is that you're not afraid to pack up your shit and leave. If people aren't taking action towards you in a very high vibrational manner, like you have no qualms in just letting it go and moving on, but you won't even tell them, is what they're realizing. Is like, I feel like what these people are realizing is like, you can walk out of their life at any point and you're not going to tell them, is sort of the vibe. Or maybe you've already walked out of their life and you didn't tell them, is sort of what they could be processing at this time. 3 of Pentacles here. These people are sort of like working hard. So I feel like what people could be realizing about you, I don't know, they're changing the color of the wall here. So maybe what people could be realizing about you is that you may be trying to change something about your career, or trying to change something that you are doing that is got something to do with work. maybe people are realizing that you are trying to branch out. So this could be boss energy here, like a boss message. Maybe some people at work, like your bosses, are realizing that you are seeking change, a new contract outside of the current contract that you are currently in. That you need change in the workplace, like you're a person who needs to change jobs a lot in order to stay active and, mindfully interested in whatever it is that you're doing. Again, that can leave a bad taste in people's mouth if they think they're going to work with you forever. The Three of Pentacles is also a card that talks about, somebody being able to work in team environments quite positively. So I feel like what people are realizing about you is that you are actually a good team player and the people that you work with have your back. And that could come as a shock for a lot of people. Some people aren't that close with their colleagues, and I think what some people are realizing about you is that you are a good worker. So, whether or not somebody's inquiring about you because they've met you, found out where you work, they might know somebody else who works wherever you work. So that is why that conversation's coming up. You're a hard worker, you go to work to do your work. Maybe they didn't get that impression off you because you have those boundaries set in place where you don't go and overshare what you do, where you do it, etc. The Lovers card, I feel like, what people could be realizing about you is that you have a lot of romantic options or choices here. For others of you, it could be the fact that what somebody is realizing about you is that you are actually a choice for them. But I always looked at the imagery here. He always gives me the impression that he thinks that this woman is actively interested in him, but she's sort of catching him off guard here because she's like, well, I'll put my hand out, but if you don't actively take action towards me, I'm not coming towards you. So I kind of feel like what people could be realizing about you, and again coming back to this boundaries, that if they don't make an effort or put in an effort, you're not going to make any effort whatsoever. If they want to date you or get to know you, then you will reciprocate that. But if they start to play mind games or any kind of game, you won't participate in that. You're definitely in this Six of Swords energy where it's a drama-free lifestyle. So if somebody comes at you with drama, you happily carry on with your way. I also feel with this Six of Swords, what people are realizing about you is you have maybe a really good support network. So maybe what they realize about your pile 3 is you confide in maybe one specific person here, and if you both come to the conclusion that those situations or that person isn't going to serve your highest good, you'll just carry on with your life and pretend maybe they don't exist here. But I definitely feel like people are realizing that you have a drama-free life now. If people actively take action towards you to bring drama or not treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, that you will actively move away from them, and you may even have a tendency to ghost here. I also feel with the Page of Wands here, what people could be realizing about you is that maybe you are a bit more health conscious at this time. Maybe you are engaging in some kind of fitness that might not be for everyone. I forget what this is called, is japulting or something, catapulting. I know that is completely wrong, but it is what it is. But yeah, javel, it's not, I'm just going to shut up. But yeah, so anyway, people also could be realizing actually how fit you are. Like they may not have realized you were a very fit person, but in fact you're actually a lot fitter than or more athletic than what they assumed here. I also feel with the Page of Wands, it's energy that's quite creative. It's one that also talks about somebody being quite adventurous, enjoys, short-term flings, short-term fleeting romances. So some people, what they could have realized about you is that you're actually not looking for anything long-term, although that could be challenged with the Three of Pentacles because this can indicate a marriage card here, but the imagery here doesn't indicate that to me. The Page of Wands here, though, sort of gives me the impression like you're working really hard, maybe on your body or something in your life, which doesn't allow you much time to have a long-term relationship, hence the fleeting romances. So people could be realizing about you is that the only way that they could sort of pursue you or have any kind of connection with you at the moment is by offering like a short-term connection with you, not coming on too strong, having to more take a very casual approach in trying to get to know you or like to establish some kind of romantic relationship with you. They need to take a very slow moving approach is what I would have to say here. You know, Six of Swords also with the Lovers and the Page of Wands could also be indicating what people are realizing about you is you're a person who has recently broken up in a connection that may be one that wasn't serving your highest good. And for others of you, what people could realize about you or have recently realized about you is that you are actively involved in some kind of rendezvous with somebody. You know, you could be spending time with this person outdoors. So this could be like a hot topic maybe in the workplace here. This could be something that you haven't been sharing with a lot of people with the Four of Pentacles. So what some people could have realized about you is that you actually are involved with somebody romantically, but you're not talking about it, neither of you or this person. So that is another message, sort of what we've got there. But that is all I have for you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.